Hey, welcome back to the Academic Society. It's Toyin here. I am here to share 5 different categories of goals that you should set in grad school, as well as the non-negotiables that go with those goals so that you can have a very successful semester for your first semester of grad school. So this video is actually part 3 of my grad school prep series. And so I'll link the playlist for the other videos in the description of this video. So this grad school series is sponsored by my grad school prep course. And in that course, I teach you all of the mindset, time management, and productivity skills that you need to succeed and excel in grad school. And so if you want to check out what it's all about and also watch my free training, I have a link for the free training. It's called 5 Reasons Students Are Underprepared for Grad School and How to Prepare Yourself. You definitely want to take notes when you watch that training. I'll put a link for it in the description of this video. So I'm Toyin, I'm the founder of the Academic Society, and I got my PhD in math. I got my dream job as a lecturer, and I also create these videos to help grad students and academics with time management, productivity, and I also share my academic lifestyle. So let's get into today's topic. Today we're talking about 5 different categories of goals that you should set in grad school, and also what non-negotiables that should go with them. So things that you must do. Like there are some things that you can like skip around, procrastinate on in grad school, but there are other things that you should definitely do. And we're going to talk about how to find those things and how to actually do those things in your first semester of grad school. So if you are already a grad student, so if you're a current grad student, I would love it if you shared in the comments what your non-negotiables are, especially if you remember what your non-negotiables were for your first semester of grad school. I think that would really help the new grad students who are watching this video. Okay, so here's the first thing that you should do. So before you even start your first semester of grad school or even your next semester of grad school, I think it's so important to set goals for the semester so that when things get hectic and crazy and you have so much going on and you don't know where to start, you can start with your goals. What were the things that you thought were so important at the beginning of the month or the beginning of the semester to write it down and say, these are my goals for the semester. So before the semester starts, go ahead and set intentions and goals for the semester. And I think there are 5 main categories of goals that you can be setting, and you do not have to set goals for all 5 categories. All 5 will not be relevant to you, especially in your first semester of grad school. But overall in grad school in general, here are 5 categories that you can start setting goals in. 1, coursework. So the courses you're taking. What kind of goals will need to be set based on the courses that you are taking? So for example, maybe you want to get a certain grade in a class. Maybe your goal is understanding, just like understanding what a class is even about, or your goal could be for taking classes. You want to take these classes to see what kind of research or research area you want to do when you start writing your thesis. All right. The next category is writing. So maybe you are in the thesis writing stage of your program, or you have a lot of papers to write for your program. Writing goals can be very helpful. Do you want to write a little bit every day? Do you want to set milestones to reach? What are your goals around writing for the semester? Next category is research. So do you want to set progress goals? So you want to reach a certain point or reach new milestones in your research every few weeks? Or maybe you just want to have time to work on your research. So maybe it's a more time-based goal. So as a grad student, you may be asked to teach classes. I was definitely asked to teach classes, so you may set goals around teaching. Maybe you want good teaching evaluations. Maybe you want to learn something from teaching. Maybe you want to get experience from teaching to help you later on. Figure out what your goals are around teaching. And finally, this next category is something I highly recommend setting goals for. It's personal and self-care. It's so easy to neglect yourself when you're in grad school, especially when you have life going on all around you. And grad school can be a crazy time, but I think it's so important at the beginning of the semester to set goals for yourself. So what kind of self-care goals do you have for yourself? Do you want to make sure you connect with your friends every week? Do you want to make time just to like meditate? Do you want to do yoga every day? What are your self-care and personal goals for the semester that you don't want to forget about? All right, so once you set goals in those categories, the ones that are relevant to you, so you don't have to set goals in all of those categories at all, just choose the ones that are for you for this semester. So once you set goals in those categories, then you have to figure out what are the tasks that you need to do every single week to get those goals done. These are your non-negotiables. These are the things that you want to not neglect doing. These are the things that will help you get to your goals that you have set. So these are the things that you must do, right? These are non-negotiables that you have set for yourself. So these are the things that you have said are important to you, and you don't want to forget about that. All right, so here's some examples. For me, when I first started grad school, I definitely had goals for my coursework, taking classes. So I've never been the type of person to make all A's. I've never really cared about making all A's. However, I know that that can lead to laziness when taking classes and falling behind and procrastination. So I set a goal in grad school to combat that. So my goal for coursework was just to do the best that I could in my classes, give maximum effort, and try to fully understand all of the material. And so to do that, I had some non-negotiables that would help me reach that goal. So here are my non-negotiables for my coursework for my first semester of grad school. Number one, starting homework the day that it's assigned. I always wanted to, I actually did. In my first semester of grad school, I actually started every single homework assignment the day that it was assigned. I was not able to complete it the day that it was assigned. I probably was barely able to do one problem because it was so difficult, but I'm so glad that I made that choice for myself to start homework the day that it was assigned, so it would give me time to sit with the material, marinate on the material, understand the material, and do the next two things in my non-negotiable list. So number two was to work with my classmates. So in my department, we did a lot of working in groups. We worked on homework together and would write up proofs and things on the boards in our common areas. So my non-negotiable was actually to work with others. And then finally, my non-negotiable was to go to office hours when I needed it. So when I was confused, the rest of my classmates were confused, I was the one who would go to office hours and get the keys to the solution and figure out the next steps. I don't know why people are so uncomfortable with going to office hours. I always went to office hours in undergrad, and so I was like, I'm doing the same in grad school, and it's always so helpful. I found that when I was in office hours, I understood more what my professor wanted us to understand, and I got a better idea of what the professor thought about the course, and so I knew more of what to focus on as well. So those were my three non-negotiables for coursework. Another example was self-care. So for me, I love me time. I'm an introvert. I like to be alone and recharge. So having time for myself was so important. So my goal was just to have me time every single day. And I did all through grad school. All right, so my non-negotiable, I love TV, right, and movies. So my non-negotiable was to watch something that made me feel good every single day. And that's exactly what I did in grad school. All right, so here's your next steps in preparing for grad school. So in your grad school preparation, step number 3, so this is the third video. Action step number 3 is to write a list of 2 to 3 main goals for grad school. So for your next semester of grad school, find 2 to 3 main goals and figure out what those non-negotiables are. So actually compile a list of your non-negotiables for when you start grad school. And also don't forget, I have a free training called 5 Reasons Students Are Underprepared for Grad School and How to Prepare Yourself. I'll put a link for it in the description of the video. And in that training, you'll also be invited to join my grad school prep course where I teach you all the mindset, time management, and productivity skills that you need to succeed and excel in grad school. All right, so next week in the grad school prep series, here's what you have to look for. So confession, in my first semester of grad school, I got an incomplete in one of my classes. And so in the next video, I'm gonna share the number one thing that I should have done that all of my other classmates were doing to actually understand the material. So I will share that thing in the next video in the series. So if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. It helps when YouTube sees that people are liking this. I would love it if you comment it below. What are your non-negotiables for this upcoming semester of grad school? And then finally, if you're new here, you should consider subscribing. I post new videos every Sunday, and next week I will be uploading the next installment of the Grad School Prep series. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.